The rain had started 3 days ago. At first, it was a welcome break from the July heat wave. Kids in the ironbound neighborhood of Newark danced under gutters and splashed through rising puddles. Parents stayed inside, lulled by the steady rhythm on rooftops, too tired from long shifts to worry about the forecast. But by the second night, the river began to rise. Carmen Ruiz, 47, had lived in her two-story home on Ferry Street for over 20 years. She'd raised two sons there, both now grown and gone. One in Philadelphia, one in the Navy. She'd seen storms before, but nothing like this. When the flood alert came in at 2:14 a.m., it was already too late. The Passaic River, swollen with relentless rain and runoff from upstream counties, had spilled over its banks. Water surged into streets, dark and fast, turning intersections into lakes. Basement apartments filled in minutes. Power flickered and died. Carmen stood on the front porch, phone in hand, watching headlights bob in the flood like drowning fireflies. Across the street, her neighbor Mr. Anwar was banging on his car window, trying to retrieve something before the current carried it away. By sunrise, the National Guard had rolled in. Helicopters circled overhead. Canoes and rowboats replaced delivery trucks. Families were pulled from windows with babies wrapped in trash bags to stay dry. Dogs barked from rooftops. It wasn't just Newark. Towns all along the Passaic were underwater. Patterson, Little Falls, Fairfield. It was a flood like the ones from old black and white photos, except this time it was in color, with live coverage on every screen. Carmen ended up in a shelter at a high school gym with hundreds of others. There, amid the folding cots and bottled water and low-humming generators, she met people she'd lived next to for years, but had never spoken to, until now. A Haitian grandmother who shared her coffee. A teenage boy who helped carry her bags. A young couple who had just moved in a month before the flood, now suddenly bound to this neighborhood by crisis. They watched the news together on someone's phone. 100-year flood, the anchors called it. Climate scientists talked about warming oceans and stalled jet streams. But in the gym, all anyone cared about was when they could go home, and what would be left when they did. When the waters receded, the streets were coated in mud. Cars were totaled. Mold bloomed in basements. Insurance adjusters walked around like undertakers. But the people stayed. Volunteers came with shovels and hot meals. Strangers helped strangers. And Carmen? She stayed too. She rebuilt. She planted a garden where the water line had stained her brick wall. And she started a community group, something to make sure they'd be better prepared next time. Because there would be a next time. Everyone knew it.